Hello. I am reading the transcript from this speech by Donald Trump on January 6th. And I find it very interesting because I never listened to it. I didn't listen to it then because by the time I heard about it, the riot on the Capitol has already began. And I sat there like a lot of us did, looking at it with disbelief. What is going on? What happened? And we really need to really get an understanding of this is how somebody who was involved with that, who started that, is actually trying to be the president again. It's crazy. This is really mind-boggling that somebody who has a criminal record, who tried to um, have a coup and a insurrection and causing chaos in a city. I mean, and all these other stuff, all these other crimes could be president. That's crazy. So I'm getting this from the NPR. It says, read Trump's January 6th speech, a key part of the impeachment trial. Now, we went through the impeachment trial. I've been through a few, well, no, one. I went through the one with Clinton. He was impeached. I went through that. And then I went through this impeachment. And this guy was impeached twice. How is you running for president? You've been impeached twice. Not convicted. I mean, not found guilty or whatever they do, but impeached nonetheless. It says former President Donald Trump's remarks in the Ellipse on January 6th, urging his supporters to march on the Capitol as Congress was certifying the results of November's presidential election, are a key part of the case against Trump being made by House impeachment managers and are also being used by the lawyers who are defending him. The House managers in Trump's Senate impeachment trial have already shown clips from the speech in which Trump outlined a long list of grievances against the news media and against Republicans he deemed were insufficiently supportive, as well as a litany of false claims about how the election had been stolen from him. Now, Democrats have pointed to one phrase in particular as they argue that Trump incited those present to march down Pennsylvania Avenue toward the Capitol. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore, he said. His defense lawyers, however, point to a different passage in which Trump said, I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully, patriotically make your voices heard. They argued that his words were not a call for actual violence and lawlessness. Patriotically and peacefully. When did you start putting those words in the same speech? Fight like hell and peacefully. Or you won't have a country no more. Patriotically. Come on. That's how these people talk. They talk out both sides of their neck. So you could have a, talking point on this and a talking point on that. And you take it the way you want to. Okay. Okay, so this is how it starts. Well, thank you very much. This is incredible. Media will not show the magnitude of this crowd. Even when I turned on today, I looked and I saw thousands of people here. But you don't see hundreds of thousands of people behind you because they don't want to show that. We have hundreds of thousands of people here, and I just want them to be recognized by the fake news media. See, that's why these people are so happy to go to his rallies, because he talks about them. He is intrigued with them. It's like when you go see a celebrity, you are just enthused that they are there, and you paid money to go see them, and they see you. Turn the cameras, please, and show what's really happening out here, because these people are not going to take it any longer. Go ahead, turn your cameras, please. Would you show? They came from all over the world, actually, but they came from all over our country. I just really want to see what they do. I just really want to see what they do. I just want to see how they covered. I've never seen anything like it, but it would be really great if we could be covered fairly by the media. The media is the biggest problem we have, as far as I'm concerned. Single biggest problem. The fake news and the big tech. The big tech is now coming into their own. We beat them 4 years ago. We surprised them. We took them by surprise. And this year, they rigged an election. They rigged it like they've never rigged an election before. And by the way, last night, they didn't do a bad job either, if you notice. I'm honest. And again, I want to thank you. It's just a great honor to have this kind of crowd and to be before you and hundreds and thousands of American patriots who are committed to the honesty of our elections and the integrity of our glorious republic. All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. Now, I listened to his speech on January the 19th, his farewell speech. What's going on? Talking with a forked tongue, talking out to both sides of his neck. I mean, really, our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about. And to use a favorite term that all of you people really come up with, we will stop the steal. Today, I will lay out just some of the evidence proving that we won this election, and we won it by a landslide. This is not a close election. Did he start coming up with this evidence? Did he start showing this evidence on the screen? No. But all the people heard was, I'm going to start showing the evidence. Now, in these people's mind, they must have missed it, because they keep saying he showed the evidence, but they must have missed it. You know, I say something jokingly, but there's no joke about it. I've been in 2 elections. I won them both, and the second one. I won much bigger than the first, okay? Almost 75 million people voted for our campaign. The most of any incumbent president by far in the history of our country. 12 million more people than 4 years ago. And I was told by the real posters, we do have real posters. They know that we were going to do well and we were going to win. What I was told, if I went from 63 million, which we had 4 years ago, to 66 million, there was no chance of losing. Well, we didn't go to 66. We went to 75 million. And they say we lost. We didn't lose. Well, see, you were up against Hillary Clinton. Now you're up against Joe Biden. Okay? Big difference. And by the way, does anybody believe that Joe had 80 million votes? Does anybody believe that? He had 80 million computer votes. It's a disgrace. There's never been anything like that. You could take third world countries. Just take a look. Take third world countries. Their elections are more honest than what we've been going through in this country. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Even when you look at last night, they're all running around like chickens with their heads cut off with boxes. Nobody knows what's the hell is going on. There's never been anything like this. We will not let them silence your voices. We're not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let it happen. And the audience started chatting, fight for Trump. Thank you, Trump says. And I love to have if those tens of thousands of people would be allowed. The military, the Secret Service, and we want to thank you and the police law enforcement. Great. You're doing a great job, but I love it if they could be allowed to come up here with us. Is that possible? Can you just let them come up, please? And Rudy, you did a great job. He got guts. You know what? He's got guts. Unlike a lot of people in the Republican Party, he got guts. He fights. He fights. And I tell you, thank you very much, John. Fantastic job. I watch. That's a tough act to follow, those two. John is one of the most brilliant lawyers in the country. And he looked at this and he said, what an absolute disgrace that this can be happening to our Constitution. And he looked at Mike Pence. And I hope Mike is going to do the right thing. I hope so. I hope so. Because if Mike Pence does the right thing, we win the election. All he has to do, all this is from the number one, or certainly one of the top constitutional lawyers in our country. He has the absolute right to do it. We're supposed to protect our country, support our Constitution, and protect our Constitution. States want to revote. The states got defrauded. They were given false information. They voted on it. Now they want to recertify. They want it back. All Vice President Pence has to do is send it back to the states to recertify. And we become president. We become president. And you are the happiest people. Forget about the other people. Just you is the happiest people. We ain't worried about nobody else. And I just spoke to Mike. I said, Mike, that doesn't take courage. What takes courage is to do nothing. That takes courage. And then we're stuck with a president who lost the election by a lot, and we have to live with that for 4 more years. We're just not going to let that happen. Many of you have traveled from all across the nation to be here, and I want to thank you for that extraordinary love. That's what it is. There's never been a movement like this ever. for the extraordinary love for this amazing country and this amazing movement. Thank you. And the audience chants, "We love Trump." By the way, this goes all the way back past the Washington moment of the Washington Monument. You believe this? Look at this. That is, unfortunately, unfortunately they gave the press the prime seats. I can't stand that. No, but you look at that behind. I wish they'd flip those cameras and look behind you. That is the most amazing sight. When they make a mistake, you get to see it on television. Amazing, amazing, all the way back. And don't worry, we would take the name of they. We will not take the name off the Washington Monument. We will not cancel culture. You know, they wanted to get rid of the Jefferson Memorial. Either take it down or just put somebody else in there. I don't think that's going to happen. It damn well better not. Although with this administration, if this happens, it could happen. You'll see some really bad things happen. They'll knock out Lincoln too, by the way. They've been taking his statues down. But then we signed a little law. You hurt our monuments, you hurt our heroes. You go to jail for 10 years and everything stopped. You notice that? It stopped. It all stopped. And they could use Rudy back in New York City. Rudy, they could use you. Your city's going to hell. They want Rudy Giuliani back in New York. We'll get a little younger version of Rudy. Is that okay, Rudy? We've gathered together in the heart of our nation's capital for one very, very basic and simple reason: to save our democracy. You know, most candidates on election evening, and of course, this thing goes on so long, they still don't have any idea what the votes are. We still have congressional seats under review. They have no idea. They totally lost control. They've used the pandemic as a way of defrauding the people in a proper election. But you know, when you see this and when you see what's happening, number one, they all say, "Sir, we'll never let it happen again." I said, "That's good." But what about 8 weeks ago? You know, they try and get you to go. They said, "Sir, in 4 years, you're guaranteed." I said, "I'm not interested right now. Do me a favor. Go back 8 weeks. I want to go back 8 weeks. Let's go back 8 weeks. We want to go back and we want to get this right, because we're going to have somebody in there that should not be in there, and our country will be destroyed, and we're not going to stand for it." For years, Democrats have gotten away with election fraud and weak Republicans. And that's what they are. There are so many weak Republicans. And we have great ones. Jim Jordan. That's all he could That's all he could claim is Jim Jordan. And some of these guys, they're out there fighting. The House guys are fighting. But it's incredible. Many of the Republicans, I helped them get in. I helped them get elected. I helped Mitch get elected. I can name 24 of them, let's say. I won't bore you with it. And then all of a sudden you have something like this. It's like, oh, gee, maybe I'll talk to the president sometime later. No, it's amazing. If this happens to the Democrats, There'll be hell all over the country going on. There'll be hell all over the country. But just remember this: you're stronger, you're smarter, you got more going than anybody. And they try and demean everybody having to do with us. And you're the real people. You're the people that built this nation. You're not the people that tore down our nation. The weak Republicans, and that's it. I really believe it. I think I'm going to use the term the weak Republicans. You've got a lot of them, and you got a lot of great ones, and you got a lot of weak ones. They have turned a blind eye, even as the Democrats enact policies that chip away our jobs, weaken our military, through open our borders, and put America last. Wow. Did you see the other day where Joe Biden said, I want to get rid of the American First policy? What's that all about? Get rid of it. How do you say I want to get rid of America first? Even if you're going to do it, don't talk about it, right? Unbelievable what we have to go through. What we have to go through. And you have to get your people to fight. And if they don't fight, we have to primary the hell out of the ones that don't fight. You primary them. You're going to let, we're going to let you know who they are. I can already tell you, frankly. But this year, using the pretext of China virus and the scam of mail-in ballots, Democrats attempted the most brazen and outrageous election theft, and they're never going to be anything like this. So pure theft in America history. Everybody knows it. Oh my God. This goes on and on. Oh my Lord. I'm going to have to. How long did this last? Okay. What did I say? Where did I end at? Where did I end at? That election, our election was over at 10 o'clock in the evening. We're leading Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia by hundreds of thousands of votes. And then late in the evening or early in the morning, boom, these explosions of bullshit. And all of a sudden, it started to happen. The audience started chanting bullshit, bullshit. Don't forget when Romney got beat. Romney, hey, did you see that? Did you see his? I wonder if he enjoyed his flight in last night. But when Romney got beaten, he stands up like your more typical. Well, I like to congratulate the victor. The victor, who is the victor, Mitt? I like to congratulate. They don't go and look at the facts. No, I don't know. He got slaughtered. Probably, maybe it was okay, maybe it was, but that's what happened. But we look at the facts, and our election was so corrupt that in the history of this country, we've never seen anything like it. You can go all the way back. America is blessed with elections all over the world. They talk about our elections. What the world says about us now? They said we don't have free and fair elections. And you know what else? We don't have a free and fair press. Our media is not free. It's not fair. It suppresses thought. It suppresses speech. And it's becoming the enemy of the people. It is becoming the enemy of the people. It's the biggest problem we have in the country. No third world countries would even attempt to do what we caught them doing. and you will hear about it just in a few minutes. Republicans are constantly fighting like a boxer with his hands tied behind his back. It's like a boxer. And we want to be so nice. We want to be so respectful of everybody, including bad people. And we're going to have to fight much harder. Okay, I'm going to end now. My God, I've been talking for 25 minutes already. I don't know how long this is, but I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about the second part of his speech. He done said it twice. He's going to learn. He's going to show where the fraud was. So we're gonna sing. This is some scary stuff, and I don't know. Okay, remember he called them weak Republicans and strong Republicans. The strong Republicans did not um, want to have him impeached. They voted against him being impeached, even with this, even half of this speech. All right, I'm going to end with this. I'm going to take a little rest, and his speeches are very hard to read. Thank you.